blue side. They feel they're much better on the blue side, yet the red side worked out for them. There is the Zillion ban. This time Samsung Blue forced to pull it out, and the Alistair ban. So they're going back into their old ways. Of course, the Lee Sin being taken away does mean, I'm wondering if Kha'Zix is going to be the first pick for Cloud9 here.
Yeah, Blue obviously do not ever want to focus on those champions. They'll be banning them out probably on both sides. And Cloud9 here, one of the big things is Zed is still left up. That's been a really big mid pick for both of these teams. An important 4 high. Right now, Zed and Syndra both up, so he's going to get either one of those 2 champions, which sort of have been his best champions to perform on.
Would he go blind with Syndra? I'm not sure about that one. Oh, Lucian banned away. Respect to Sneaky there. Don't want that one through again.
And why not? It was beastly in game number 1. I mean, don't let him get something comfortable. The interesting one for me is Rise, a champion which Acorn not played at Worlds so far, a champion which he's not played at OGN completely. Zed obviously got through, was banned in game number 1, sneaks through this time, and Cloud9 take that right away.
And Blue have got to have seen this first pick coming, because they know Hyde loves this champion, so they're looking to take away 2 power picks from this. There is the Kha'Zix, as we talked about, was a good first round for Meteos last time around. Let's see what they can pair it with, though. They can wait on Dade and save that longer, but they've already seen Zed, so he could jump into it.
Well, I mean, if they're banning away an AD carry, I wonder if they're going to try and go towards an AD carry as a first pick. Maybe get Deft comfortable. We talked about how 45% of the damage before this best of 5 started came from Deft, so they have to get him comfortable.
Yeah, and his main 3 things that he's comfortable on, the Twitch, the Corki, and the Kog'Maw, they're all up right now, but he doesn't. When they run Twitch, it's with very specific setup here. They usually have either Kale or Maokai, you know, to help heal for him or make him invulnerable. But I guess they're going right back to the Thresh first pick. But yeah, they don't have this time around, so I'm expecting either a Corki or Kog'Maw for Def this time around to go back to that skill shot, very big level 6 boost that they like to pull those lane swaps to try and feed experience to Deft 4.
You can basically carry on talking here because Cloud9 going back to their signature of, we know exactly what we want, we're going to get it straight in there. Corki, Maokai, both locked in.
They've got to be happy with Maokai sneaking through there. We saw, of course, Acorn sitting on it and thinking about going for it, but they switched up. We'll see whether Thresh, you know, is such an important pick for them. Obviously, he can make some amazing plays with Thresh, but to let the Maokai through after banning it yourself in game 1, it's clearly a big deal for Blue.
Yeah, let's see this time around, because Rumble, again, is still up and is a good champion to run into Maokai.
Yeah.
The only thing is Cloud9 have already locked in a very strong mid-game AD carry, so that brings a lot of Dragon control just by itself. Having Sneaky on Corki and Lucian already banned out, he should be able to get... Oop, there it is.
Twitch for Deft here, being his most successful champion here at Worlds and also, of course, over in OGN. So that will be locked in. They're going to be taking Rumble. You mentioned the Rumble for Acorn. They decide to go that way this time.
Yeah, so they do lock in the Rumble and the Twitch at the same time. So that means there won't be that intervention. There won't be that Maokai peel. He's going to have to rely on Heart and the Lanterns for his repositioning. This is going to be an intense game for Deft. After the look on his face after the last game, he's definitely going to have to keep his head in this game because his position is going to be key for them.
But something that we obviously discovered throughout Singapore, it was all about the mid-game there, those group stages that both these teams played in. That's a very strong mid-game comp from Samsung Blue. With that Rumble over there, with that Twitch, you're going to have a lot of early power. Cloud9, of course, as you mentioned, with the Corki in there, could answer it, but that Rumble, it's going to be serious disruption for this Cloud9 team.
So when we were watching the Cloud9 versus Shield games, and I always like to talk about the fighting style for the team fights for Shield. Cloud9 have a similar style where they, in the North American LCS, were so good at splitting up during team fights and not having 2 of their carries next to each other at any time. So they're actually a team that's good with Rumble and fighting against Rumble. I kind of like it in this scenario. They also have the Maokai versus Twitch, which is a really good counter. It's so annoying for Twitch anytime you're up against one of these tanks with the targeted CC.
Well, we are in Korea, so Gangnam Style is very much on the cards here for Twisted Fate and Dade in that mid lane. But going back to your point, you know, I think the analyst has talked about it. I know Monte Cristo's been talking about it. The fact that obviously Balls and Acorn, probably the best North American player on Rumble and probably the best Korean player on Rumble. So we'll see how Acorn works this time around. That's going to be a big deal, I think.
what about that mid lane matchup? Picking the Twisted Fate into high Z.
So Twisted Fate is a great facilitator for this team because both Rumble and Twitch, if Twisted Fate can gank for them and get them ahead, it will increase the team fight damage by feeding one of those two side lanes. So Dade's teleports are going to be really crucial for this one around. And again, with that Flash Ghost that he's been running on all other champions, but also on Twisted Fate, he'll have the mobility to do that. And I think wards around that mid lane are going to be really important for both teams.
Some incredibly mobile teams on both sides, honestly. This could be a very action-packed match. Of course, Cloud9, if you just joined us, well, they're leading 1-0. Apple Pie is very much alive. And you guys back home in America, of course, you're going to have a late night ahead of you, I think. This is a best-of-5 series that could well go the distance. So, which lineups do you think look stronger coming into Game 2? Tweet us hashtag C9win or hashtag SSBwin to @LLE Sports. And, of course, let us know who you think will win this game. We'll be checking the results out very, very soon.
All right, so as we're about to load into this early game, the early couple minutes are going to be crucial because Blue are probably going to look for that lane swap for Deft and Heart, like they've done in so many of their games. This means that the early wards deep in the lane and through the jungle are going to be very, very important.
And
look at the respect there.
Yeah. Skin 4 high up against Samsung Blue. We'll see if that is a bit of an omen for him. High, who we pointed to in game number 1 to really go big, had good times with Syndra, especially early on, of course, getting those kills, but it was really Sneaky that was the massive, massive killer. Well, that was super close. That binding would have been trouble for him. Would have burnt at least a flash, I think.
All right, Dade's warming up, though. He's got his
dancing shoes on, that's for sure. Sidestepping that Dark Binding. Heart trying for that Scar award. Can he do it?
He's looking for the hook. Because they've got sight of Sneaky. They're looking for that long-range hook. The only thing is they don't have any follow-up, so not a lot of damage. Even if he did land that hook, they'd have to call more of the team down to actually make that play.
Well, remember in last game that Cloud9 had a great level 1 start. This time around, I don't think Samsung Blue are looking to get caught out as heavily as they did. Trying to make themselves a pick of their own. It does look like they're going to be starting out on the red buff, as are Cloud9. So even start for both teams this time.
And it looks like they are going to have the regular lanes here, going 2 versus 2, Twitch Thresh into Corky Morgana. Let's see how that works out for them. Cloud9 are grouping up on this side. They still could do a late invade here and go for that late blue side invade, because a lot of times you do expect lane swaps from Blue, and they do go for it. So this will be a good call from Cloud9 because Blue are starting their red buff. Question is, can Meteos actually run blue to blue to get back in time?
In fact, his balls is here as well. He's got that TP available, of course, to go back. Saplings will help out. There is the back. So we're going to see Balls head back to base first by himself. I guess a couple more pots and then TP into that top lane, while Acorn will not use that TP, so he's going to have it available should anything happen in the next 30 seconds or so.
And once again, really like this sweeper lens in the early stages from Meteos. 2 games in, managed to clear out vision both times to get the invade on the enemy jungle. See if they continue with that. Might become a little bit predictable, but predictable or not, they get in there and they get their aim of taking away that buff.
The reason that those late invades on your duo side are predictable is because that is the safest way to start your jungler off. Even with all the crazy lane swap metas that we've seen over this season, the safest way has always been to invade with your jungler on the side that your AD carry and support are with. So Cloud9, even if Blue start to expect it, it's not really a strategy that is easy to make a counter to, and you have to really work with the Fog of War and try and catch them off guard with a 5-man sitting in a bush strategy to try and punish them for that.
Those Dark Bindings being thrown out, as well as the Tormented Soil constantly trying to keep Samsung Blue on their toes in this bottom lane. Sneaky missing a couple of CS there just at the end. Giant wave going to be pushed up, so Deft will farm to his heart's content right here. Will take a binding though. Phosphorus Bomb's already been thrown out by Sneaky though, so it won't get any follow-up.
That's the comment that Lemon Nation so far this game has been absolutely godlike with those bindings. Don't really expect that to change. I mean, he has been pretty godlike with those bindings all season. A master of aim on that Morgana. And as you mentioned, bottom lane, we saw the brief flash of the stat there. Sneaky with a 22 KDA from his 15-0-7 Lucian in that first game. We'll see if he can bring a similar kind of number into this one. Gonna be hard to do that kind of thing twice in a row against a team like Blue, though.
Yeah, so far they're doing a good job shoving them under turret, but as well, Deft and Hart have done a decent job of CSing under that turret, trying to use the Targon execute as well for their advantage. And we've seen both junglers sticking to top and bottom side of this map respectively, because those are the sides that they stole buffs on and have control over. Not too much early action though.
Another early sweeper coming out of Meteos. We'll see whether he makes use of it, just makes his back to base, gets himself that Spirit Stone and Pink Ward. So we'll see whether he heads up north. We've had a lot of counter jungling from Spirit up there. Currently, of course, Acorn keeping the pressure on Balls. Pressure that Balls is happy to just take and keep on farming on that turret. He's not missing a beat in terms of farm. But now that the junglers have made their first back, let's see what paths they take, whether they try and set something up. Of course, a lot of action in this bottom lane in the first matchup.
Yeah, and even if Spirit does want to come down to this side of the map, he's got to be very careful, because Dragon's side of the map in standard lane matchups is extremely important in the early game here. Cloud9 already have the stronger duo at this moment, so if Meteos focuses down there or in the mid lane and gets that lead,
they saw him
that we're looking at, looks like they're going to collapse on Spirit. He has jump.
Put a little bit of a late ward into that. Meteos comes across, but the Cocoon not quite landing as a gold card from Dade directed at Meteos. But look at this. Lemon Nation actually forcing the bottom lane away completely. They do manage to sidestep that binding coming out of him, but forcing once again Deft and Hart out of the lane, and they're going to try and keep it where it is.
Yeah, this bodes very well for Cloud9's early game, because like I said, if you can win the bottom side of the map without having to use extra resources down there, then it sets your team up for a very strong early game. It has drawn the attention of Spirit, though, trying to even it out, and it is sort of wasting some of his time. Jungler time for Blue, a little bit going to waste here.
Yeah. Meteos was close by and is about to come back, has got that sweeper, so he'll clear out that ward in the tri-bush and give them vision. Where's High going, though? He's coming around the backside. This is a collapse from Cloud9.
Yep, they pinged him.
No ward, though, in that tri-bush, so not actually seeing him recall. That could have been a bit of an early Dragon opportunity, especially with the Elise jungler, but they will see that Kha'Zix is still around there, and they head back off to lane.
And this is why we were talking about how important the wards around mid lane were going to be for both teams this time around. High, very, very prone to roaming. He roams quite a lot, especially on Zed, as we've just seen. And Dade now is level 6 as well. So you want to see that vision around the mid lane to see what side of the map he is leaking towards, so that you can call it out to your side lanes, who are going to be playing aggressively down here in the bottom and can be punished by a TF. That is going to be coming, because if that happens and Lemon had to use his Black Shield for lane phase for a hook, then it could be very bad, and Blue could actually turn this aggressive bottom lane around behind them. So we'll probably see Lemon hold on to his Black Shield as much as he can and play very conservatively with it.
Balls missed out on a bit of farm there, but he is back in that top lane. Saved his teleport, didn't get up there quick, so he will have that available. We are hitting the 7.5 minute mark, so chances of a Dragon are very much likely. They're going on Dade. They're going to collapse. They're going to use everything on him. Meteos comes around the side. One more hit should do it. He's going to run out. He gets it. It's fast blood for Meteos. And this time, Cloud9 strike again.
Not only did they get that kill, but there's no response possible from Blue right now. Both of the side lanes are pushed in right now, and they're going to shove this right into the turret. So very, very strong early game once again. What you do when you gain control of bottom and mid is immediately try and control the vision around Dragon and get those chain early Dragons going for your team. Get that income going and make sure that you have the timer for it. Here they go.
That Dragon going down, there's no one anyway.
It's Acorn for it.
TP in.
Ready to get close.
That comes in, but he was too slow. Acorn is there, and look at that. Moving away.
Brilliant.
Meanwhile, Dade came in as well. They stopped the Dragon, and they got it killed, and they're probably going to get the Dragon themselves.
What a ridiculous swing back in Blue's favor right here. Cloud9 are the ones who get the first blood, shove into the turret, and then wait around too long. We mentioned the Dade teleport, but also Acorn barely getting his off.
You got to wonder, Balls should have flashed flat, could have flashed twisted advance, could have caught him. Thought he had time, but Acorn got away, got the equalizer down and set everything up, and suddenly Samsung Blue swing it in their favor after a great opening strike by Cloud9 once again in that mid lane. Now we'll see what they do with that advantage, what they do with that first Dragon. Of course, it does mean that Balls is now open to try and make a play. There's nothing to interrupt him in that top lane. He does have a teleport, so we'll keep our eyes on whether they'd like a tower dive or something else to come from that.
Well, right now, Elise is quite far away from that one. The turret itself actually down to half HP, so Sneaky and Lemon Nation doing a good job. There is the hook coming in. They've already landed the binding. Lemon Nation goes low. Well, the damage back from Sneaky was good. And Hart, even with the ignite there, falls low himself. Meanwhile, Sneaky continues to push them back with those rockets. They need to be careful here, though, because Spirit is coming down.
Well, High's also heading down, but he's been pinged down and again. This time we'll get spotted out. We need to clear that pink ward that was down there. But good trades in that bottom lane, and Sneaky still doing a great job at defending Lemonation and keeping him safe. You guys at home, woo! You guys are definitely alive and ready for this matchup. Sneaky and Def once again. Fox's bomb misses. That's going to put it heavily in Def's favor. Teleport comes in. This is going to be balls. He has got flash available. Twisted advance. Not going to go for it. Wasted teleport.
Acorn was able to slow him. He came in with a slow, so he must have hit one of those harpoons on him right before he came in, and Balls could not even flash into range. Teleport for nothing here for Cloud9.
It's gonna cost them, or possibly will cost them. Doesn't necessarily mean that it will in the end, but right now Cloud9 jockeying for vision control on their own side of that river. Got a good few pink wards down on that bottom side at this point, so really looking to keep a hold of that side of the map. And Sneaky, I thought, you know, Def might have bitten off a little bit more than he could chew, but once a phosphorus bomb misses and you see that Sneaky had no mana left for that one, it wasn't all that bad. In the end, though, this lane starting to once again settle down somewhat with a 10 CS lead for Sneaky. Here comes Twisted Fate.
Oh, we're going to see if he's going to catch on Gold Gun. Oh, he does pull it. He held on there. Lemonation hooked in. Sneaky should just back away from this one. Def will pick up the kill, and they get him started early.
So I want to point out what Dade was doing with his TF. He ran all the way through his own jungle. He went back into the small jungle entrance between his turrets to make his way down bottom, so that even if Cloud9 have wards around this mid lane, he made sure that his path would not be seen. Dade took very, very careful plans to plan out that path down bottom. And there it is. We saw it come full circle. They punished the bottom lane for being pushed up, and even though Lemon held on to his flat shield, they got the kill. Trying to answer with the mid shove. Very, very close, but no cigar.
Well, they'll get it at some point in the near future, but holding on there, a little scared to hang around just as Dade came back into lane. And he himself, Seeker's arm guard now, trying to make it a little bit harder for High to get through all of that. Meteos off towards his blue buff, just clearing out that camp. Still, we fight for vision control on the bottom side as well. Dragon's still a little way off from this one, though. While the support's going to be raking in a little bit of gold for keeping control. And, you know, it's not just even about the Dragon at this point. We already talked about the roads down bottom, as Def here going to take a lot of damage. He's going to be invisible. They're binding, and it is going to be Sneaky that gets the kill. Hart nowhere near to defend.
That's going to be the turret too, because only Hart is down here. Cloud9 going to take a pretty big lead in bottom. Meteos, though, still farming his race. Let's see what he can do mid.
Dade stepping out the side, but he can't leave that mid turret. It's got 2, maybe 3 hits left on it, and that could be 2 towers quickly for Cloud9. Dade is not allowed to leave. Doesn't have Twisted Advance up. His Destiny available just yet, but look at the tower. 1 hit. High is punishing every time he leaves this lane.
There's more wards cleared out. 1.5 minutes till Dragon come up. This would be a big coup for Cloud9 if they could manage those 2 turrets right after one another. They've sent Hart to that mid lane as well. Even Spirit is still hanging around, and they keep it alive, at least for now. But gonna be important as this Dragon starts to edge closer. One thing worth noticing, Acorn's TP is ready. Balls is gonna be a little while off.
The other thing that's really important is that Blue now have the twisted, the TF ultimate up, as well as deft almost to his Blade of the Ruin King. So you have to start worrying about those picks from the TF plus Twitch combo. Not only do Blue have team fighting with Rumble, but they also have the ability to catch you anywhere on the map that you don't have pink wards.
And the big thing, of course, for the Rumble is as soon as you get that Haunting Guise and Boots in, you're pretty much ready and set to go. So, of course, that Equalizer will be doing a hell of a lot of damage, and it's going to cause a problem. Samsung Blue looking strong if they want to create an opportunity at the Dragon. Of course, Cloud9 are going to maybe look to cause themselves some advantages. That tower will go down. It will be the second of the game, easily taken. Spirit coming around the side, risky. We just saw how aggressive Sneaky is feeling in this game. We'll see if they try and create something over the next 20 seconds for this Dragon.
Yeah, so what Blue are probably going to try and do... Uh-oh! He gets picked, but nobody's in the area. They wanted to follow up.
They didn't see it.
What Blue want to try and do is get one of those picks, then start the team fight. Cloud9 have control of the area, though. As you said, they have to wait on Ball's ultimate, even though the Dragon's coming up. They still don't have the TP matching ability in that top lane. If Acorn joined and Balls didn't once again, it would be disastrous for Cloud9 to get caught in the Dragon Pit versus that level 11 Rumble, level 2 Equalizer. Balls either has to flash this time to stop it or wait around to be able to answer it.
Trying to delay as much as possible. The teleport from Balls is going to come off cooldown here, so they're going to have that. That's a good sweep out, which will reveal one ward. Will they get the second? No, yes, they managed to get that. They're going to take a lot of damage here. They're going to go for the finisher high. Getting locked up, though. He could die. We'll put the death mark on towards Heart. Will that be enough? I don't think it is. Here comes Stardate. The TP's coming down as well. Cloud9 have to evacuate.
Teleport interrupted. Balls catches on Acorn, but he may well pay the price with his own life. As Acorn overheats, keeps that flame spinner going, tries to turn around, knocks him back. Flash comes out of Balls. He gets out, and it's only High that dies in all of that. And Cloud9, they're going to not get the Dragon, but they're going to shove those waves straight back in towards that inner turret.
Yeah, High went for that risk. He thought he was going to be able to finish off the target when they hit the binding plus the cocoon, the patented Cloud9 skill shot special. Just got kind of baited himself in there with that low HP target, and because he got cheated by that Fog of War up the ramp, ran into everything, and they lose that pretty big.
This could be bad for Def.
Can they find him?
Have they seen him? Are they going to check?
No.
Well, they do. Phosphorus bomb went down, but they know.
That should be Dragon,
so it's recalled here. High went down to the bottom. They've already got Meteors there, so 3 on Dragon right now. No TP for Acorn. There's a TP for Balls, even if they wanted to come down here. The Dragon is going to go over to Cloud9, puts them 1,000 gold up.
So Balls interrupting the teleport this time around, working out for him. It looked like it was a flash as well. Oh, that was the flash to get out, wasn't it? Spirit being found in the jungle. They're going to react. You can see Meteos is coming up. He's not going to take too kindly to his jungle being invaded. And we'll see whether they can prevent Samsung Blue. Balls keeping his eye on him. This is what we got to be careful about. Blade of the Rune King is back up and ready, and he goes straight on towards Meteos. Doesn't have the damage. Flash forced out of Meteos.
Got to worry about this mid shove here. Blue all grouping up. Blue buff on TF.
However, High has gone into split push mode here on that bottom side. Yeah, I mean, Meteos had to flash there, couldn't repel because he saw Heart was coming around for the what would have been an easy hook onto him as he came down, but they're actually forcing Samsung Blue to switch around and move through their own jungle here with the presence of Sneaky and that split push coming down.
Balls still has teleport, remember? He's got the teleport advantage now for Cloud9. So if Cloud9 can keep him split pushing up in that top and get it into the turret, draw Acorn up there, then they can actually force one of these fights if they get some deep wards down, because the mid turret and the bottom turret being down for Blue open up bottom side of the map to aggression from Cloud9 since they have the teleport from top side.
So the early lead for Cloud9, but it is only a very small lead, just 1,000 gold between the two. Top turret may well be the next focus. You can see pings going down on it. We do see High making moves up there as well. He was going to try and sneak across in towards that top brush and see if they can catch out Acorn, who himself you can see is way back.
Dottie's going to get that bottom turret then.
Yep, that's going to be given. You can see though, sneaky elimination. They're going to come down, but they're not going to get close enough.
There's a tweet from X Special as well saying elimination single-handedly made me prioritize Thresh less in LCS. And yeah, when you got a Morgana that's that scary, you can see why.
Yeah, he played something like 70 games in a row in solo queue on Morgana in the middle of the season, and it definitely showed. Not only in his binding accuracy, but also the reaction time with his black shield. Dade was able to get that split push tower down though. More money to him, and he,
They're trying to bait this one out, but this is
gonna
dangerous. Deft is nearby. They're going for Acorn. It's going to be a tower dive. Deft is going to get close enough. In comes Dade as well. They're trying to get the hell out of there. High's in trouble. Now Mining catches on towards, but he doesn't enough. Ball goes down. It's a double kill for Samsung Blue. It's not over yet. They're still chasing.
The Twitch and the TF, you always have to account for those factors when fighting this team. Really, really good counterattack there from Blue, gonna make them pay, and they'll get an objective after.
Yeah, that turret definitely going down. It will bring the gold further in their favor. Another 1,000 gold swing over towards Samsung Blue. The hook comes out, it's a mile wide, and Lemon Nation had his shield on anyway. Meanwhile, Sneaky pushing this mid lane rather heavily, but needs to be careful. Their hearts come in around the back.
You'll see where the Heart manages to get in there. We've seen some fantastic flays and hooks coming out already. Sneaky fancying this one though. Valkyrie is available for him. He did have Meteos nearby in Elimination, but they do wisely step away. Samsung Blue started to turn it on here. Vision was a little bit lacking for Cloud9 there. They were completely caught off guard.
Yeah, I want to bring back up our featured matchup for this series, High versus Dade. Both of them shot callers and playmakers for their team. Look at Dade's build. It's all about making plays. He has the Zanyas and the early upgraded distortion boots. Here goes Deft once again. Okay, one shot there. But so he's got the Zanyas and the upgraded boots already. So Dade can keep making plays for this team, initiating and following up with depth for these picks. Whereas High, a couple of times, he goes for these risky plays and he wants to make something happen for his team, but sometimes it does backfire. We're seeing the other side of it this time around.
Samsung Blue grouping as a 5 here, trying to push on the mid lane here. Mid lane turret, well, Cloud9, they were keeping a 1-3-1 split going. It was working out well for them. Acorn, though, has stepped away, has to stop Ballsy's push in that top lane. So everybody from Cloud9 stepping back, gonna get themselves some items bought out. We'll see how they pop out. Of course, Triforce was picked up very early on by Sneaky. He's keeping up well with Deft, who himself is looking a lot more dangerous in this game. And once again, he's looking for the kill. The teleport's coming in.
Teleport coming in, but there's a death mark from High. Turning it around. Deft is going to go down here. High gets the kill, but he falls straight away. Balls will be the second victim. Meteos dives in there. They get a kill on Heart. Under he's walked up to the back. He's managed to get away. Spirit's still alive. Dade comes in to get a rampage.
Wow, crazy stuff. It's not over yet. Sneaky's still got those rockets to keep on firing, and they are doing a hell of a lot of damage. They've got to be careful that Acorn doesn't catch him with one of those slows, but that tower will fall down, and a 4-for-1 fight to Samsung Blue once again. They reacted so fast to that fight in the middle that Deft set up.
Again, yeah, these picks from Blue. Deft is playing without fear here. Again, starts up with a Zed right next to him. High doesn't hesitate to go in on him and go for the kill, but they get into kills because they bait in Balls. Balls actually, I think that High had this one by himself, and the shuriken was over his head, so Balls probably didn't have to go. Nope, that shuriken wasn't over. He got him with the slash though. But 2 kills right there, and then Meteos gets hooked in here. He didn't want to dive it on there. Heart with the hook to bring him into the middle, and the rest of Cloud9 try and back up Meteos. Oh, double kill with that wild card, the flash wild cards from Dade. But again, drag control here for Cloud9. They want to jump on it.
Not over yet. You can see Samsung Blue. They're coming around the side. Pink wall goes down. Dragon is picked up fast for Cloud9. Question is, can they get out? Dade's coming from the bushes just above them. The death sentence land. The equalizer. That kind of whiffs. Meteos in trouble. They're going to collapse on. Acorn's the one they front, and he pulled him away. Meteos putting damage down. Meteos gets taken down. Dade gets on towards him. Spirit jumps away. High's not separated. He goes down. It's going to be another kill for them. Dade, he's going to try and pull away from this one. Lemonation. Oh no! That misses. Dade will get taken down already. Turns the kill around. The shield pulls in the ignite. Not quite going to get him down. Sneaky's in trouble. It's going to be an ace. I cannot believe that Samsung Blue just turned that fight around. Completely split, completely messy, and Samsung Blue in full control.
And there's Blue showing their team fighting abilities in the mid game here. So well played. Gets the objective after. Gonna push down the mid turret. And Dade got out with his life after that Zanya's.
I don't know how, even. He was
We're going to have
right
to look
in
at the
middle.
replay here.
The Zonya's in there, big team fights, one after the other, and it leaves Samsung Blue here 14-4 up in kills. That gold lead going their way, and Cloud9 being kept in with the Dragon. Let's see that one again.
So they got the Dragon, and then the Equalizer, they're able to dance around it. So you thought this would be a good fight, but Meteos is going to go for Dade here, and he misses the Cocoon. So he gets gold carded, Spirit jumps in for the execution, and High's all by himself with the rest of the team. He can't do anything because he also gets exhausted. And as I said right here, Dade's still holding on to that. Zonya's in his pocket. So 3-member collapsing on him. He's able to get the kill and still get out because of the shield from Hart. Even though he misses that, doesn't matter.
Insane stuff, and that even came in there right at the very end. You saw him just, there's another gold card, and I'm still alive at the back. Cloud9 looking to make plays here, though. Balls and Meteor sat inside of the Death Brush, seeing if anyone would be headed that way. In fact, Sneaky and Lemon Nation going to join them. This is 4 men. Good ward from Hart over the back of that red buff, though.
Quickly spotted out. Hart saves himself his life there, but Samsung Blue are reacting once again. Look at Acorn's positioning. Deft actually being pressured. Big bomb will land. That's forcing him away, but Acorn wants this. He's going to come around. He's got the Equalizer available. Dade ready. The Equalizer goes down, but it's not good. Dade's going to come in. They have to deal with him fast. He's not going to have the Zonyas available. Yes, he has. He's back off cooldown. I can't believe that he's going to get caught down. Will they get him down? They will.
4 versus 5.
Big. Can they turn this around? They need to go in, but this is all happening. High's taking down turret.
4 versus 5. They traded 1 for 1. That was great for Cloud9. Also getting the side turret here. High still pushing up.
Don't stop the recalls here. No one's been able to get back into the base. Acorn now trying his best to get off there. The Wraith actually stopped him, recalling once again. And High is still going on that inhibitor turret. Acorn, oh no, he stopped as well.
Sneaky in the middle.
Couldn't get back. They're trying on the top side of the red buff.
He's
High
gonna
is
get
still going. Sneaky gonna do good damage to that inner turret. Surely the inhibitor turret is gonna go down in the bottom left. You can see High picked it up. Sneaky almost killed Spirit there in the middle at the same time.
They're chasing him. They're chasing him. You can see Acorn's going to come around. He may turn this back on towards him.
Zonya's
He has
also
to run away. Goes on towards him. Zonya's is there. High tries to use it to his advantage. Get away. But look, they're going for Baron. They're going for Baron. Cloud9 are going for Baron. They draw the entire team to the top side of the map. And now they're going to get the Baron.
Acorn's teleport is up. Dade's teleport is not up, so Acorn will be the only one. And they don't have any wards on the inside. The shot calling from Cloud9 once again.
Wow.
Everybody talked about the split pushing would be Cloud9's weapon against Blue's team fighting in the late game.
Too late.
They pulled it off and they got the teleport from him.
Equalizer goes in, but you can see Samsung Blue. They're going to chase. Dark binding. It's not going to land. No need it. Gets it. Oh, he lands the Meteos. It's going to be a sacrificial lamp ball. Just run the hell away from there. That will be 1 kill, but the Baron picked up. And, well, Samsung Blue, they're led on a merry dance by Cloud9, akin to Natch in White Shield in the last match when they had that tiebreaker. Cloud9 shot calling, it is on point, but they may well lose a turret here.
It's only going to buy them some breathing room, though. They still lose the turret. They're running out of those very, very quickly here. And the Baron buff is going to buy them some time to try and even up some gold in this game.
I'm going to try and hunt down High. Did see his position was revealed thanks to the Destiny. There is a push over the 20 gold card comes in. Spirit dives on top of him. Deathmark will go, and they won't be enough to keep him alive or get the kill. That's 1 for Spirit.
Good news is, for Cloud9, High already didn't have a Baron buff because he was the one split pushing when they took it, so it wasn't as big of a deal, but still, even running through your own jungle, it's not your jungle anymore if you don't have any wards and you're facing this team, the Twitch, the TF, even Acorn has been teleporting
when Destiny has just been used, you have no vision in your jungle. Why do you walk into it? What the hell was that? That was rubbish. That's what it was. Rubbish. Come on, High. Step it up, boy. You're at 171. This is not what we want to see from Cloud9. At the moment, Samsung Blue have themselves the lead. They are 5,000 gold in ahead, despite the Baron being on Cloud9. Sneaky. He's going to have to drag the team screaming and kicking on this one. Game 1 for him was incredible. He's at 2-on-1. He's avoided a lot of the skirmishes. And right now, they're looking to see if they can try and pressure this top turret. Deft was there, but he stepped away. They were trying to set up a trap for him, but it is not going to work out. And this Baron buff, it's going to time out without getting much use.
Well, an opportune Baron at least brings the gold back for Cloud9. High better watch out, because demons after him.
T-Man's gonna have his head for that one.
I'm almost
scared. You were just praising his shot calling though, so remember that.
He's making great shots,
Remember
Cole,
that.
that's for sure. But at the moment, his actual play itself is somewhat lacking. That's a turret though, and again, Cloud9, they're running good positional advantages here. The dragon will go across. I think this is the first dragon for Samsung Blue, maybe the second. But this game is far from over. 4,000 gold is the difference, but as we've seen, Cloud9 don't care about gold leads. They can keep you guessing, and Hai is going to keep on split pushing throughout this game. I don't think he's going to give up on that one at any point. They're going to continue the 4-1 split.
Thing is, as this game goes on, it gets harder and harder for Cloud9. They're facing the Kazakhs, Twitch, Rumble, TF here. This is ridiculous. There's so many answers already built into the team on Blue. They have 2 Zanyas, and Deft has been able to finish his Quicksilver Sash now. So Hai, he has to split push. There's too many things that he can't deal with in a team fight here. It's going to become really, really difficult for Cloud9. And this Baron buff, even when they had the Baron buff, they weren't able to close the gold gap at all. They traded objectives and they lost extra kill.
The trading turret, you can see the bottom inner turret will go. Samsung Blue pushing this one while the top one is being pushed. Protected by Dada, uses his Destiny to try and clear out. Does manage to get the wards, the minions down. Cloud9 have to back away from this one. Samsung Blue are not backing down on the bottom lane. They're going for the inhib turret.
4 people there, that's a dangerous TF up at the top. Can get rid of the waves quickly. Sneaky actually stuck around. Lemon Nation will recall, but there's enough there for Cloud9 to force them away from the inhibitor turret. It leaves us at 6-5 in terms of towers. Of course, there's an open inhibitor down in the bottom lane thanks to that push earlier on from Hai. The question is, can Cloud9 get into that kind of position again to pull something off in this game? First things first, I think they need to start getting some ward control back.
Well, the thing is, I'm talking about things that Blue has to answer Cloud9's. The split push is really hard for them because, as we said again, the TF plus the Twitch can chase him down at any time. So it's really putting Cloud9 into a corner here as to how to outplay Blue right now. And it really does have to come from extra vision control and picking somebody off.
That's just the problem. The Hai's targets are lacking now. QSS being picked up by Deft. 2 Zonyas, of course, on both Acorn and Dade. There's really a lack of who he can go up against when the team fights do happen when he gets in there. So we'll see how he does. At the moment, it's going to be down the bottom. One of those targets he can get, Spirit, maybe if he can catch him out, but I don't think Spirit's going to be foolish enough to push this wave on his own. It is the mid lane that looks like Samsung Blue are going to group up and shove back in.
Right, still waiting though down bottom, scanning out those brushes, making sure that he's actually not in full vision. When I say he's not in full vision, they ping right on top of his head though.
Oh, Dade's going there.
And we've got 1.5 minutes until the Baron comes back up. Dade will get a tri-bush ward down. I believe that Hai is actually still inside of the brush, has not actually shown himself there, so you will see Dade actually coming back. And, I don't think he stepped out there. I don't think he came out of the brush there. So Dade, he may know he's there, he may not know he's there. Hai wants to get out
Hai's
anyway.
like, nope, not having none of that. Oh, he's sticking around.
So Hai, that vision that you were mentioning, deep vision for Cloud9, isn't
Get a back
there.
door. He wants the back door.
Isn't there, so he didn't know somebody else would come. And this is what we're talking about. Cloud9, their backs are against the wall. They have to pull out something really sneaky like this.
Keep your Hai. The minion wave's gonna go past, and then he's gonna sneak straight up there. There goes the minion wave. He's waiting, and he's gonna push up. He's gone. He's already off. He's going. There we go. He's going to try and sneak in the back door. Balls has pushed the top wave, so Dade may well go up there to deal with that wave, and that's going to buy them time. Clever tactical play. He's really been sneaky.
He snuck into a side door here before the other minion wave came down. He snuck over through this little bush. He's working his way up inch by inch. He's playing the spy games here.
He put a ward there, just to the right. So he's got vision, now he's sneaking up, but he's not where the
guard moves by, he moves up again into the next shadows.
He really is. He's really a full-on ninja right now. He's going for it.
Hai fully taking this Zed to the next level. Embracing the champion fully.
I'm interested to see if he can pull this one off. We've got 3 seconds for Baron. There's the minion wave gone. Get ready. There he is. The ninja.
They saw him.
No!
Oh, they pinged him. They pinged him. They saw him. The Baron just spawned, though. So if they all pull back, we could see Cloud9 stick the Baron. He knows it. He knows it's spotted. In comes Dade. He's going to turn it around. He's going to try and get away. But look at Cloud9. The rest of the team, they're running to Baron. And well, Samsung Blue know about it. They're going to try and turn a merry dance here. It's not going to happen for them. Dade does get himself the kill. And in goes Cloud9. It's not going to be enough. Deft off the side, along with an equalizer. It's a scary prospect, and Samsung Blue will beat them away.
Oh, good equalizer comes out from Acorn. He flashes into the middle, but landed into a binding there. This could be bad for him. He's got the Zonyas, of course, which will keep him alive for a while longer. One more on. Sneaky would have done it. Sneaky being attacked and killed by Spirit. Meanwhile, Elimination goes down, and that's 5 men down. An ace for Samsung Blue for nothing. They could go straight to Baron.
What an attempt from Cloud9, though. They knew they were just boxed into a corner, and High blows out the Black Ops mission. Even though the mission barely failed at the last stage with 1 step, it was still a valiant effort, and Blue have done such a good job controlling this game. Talking about how the picks and bans, they completely switched back the picks and bans to the team fighting that they know and love, to the Twitch that Deft knows and loves, and you have to commend them for their ability to execute. Those mid-game fights especially were on point from Blue. And this one, of course, as you're saying, it was a desperate move from Cloud9. They were trying to go over to that Baron because, you know, High had done that split pushing, but again, you're against the Rumble. He's got the equalizer when you're in the pit. Very hard to take, even 4 versus 5 for Cloud9, and Blue make them pay for it.
So big comeback for Samsung Blue. They've looked solid throughout this game. They now have themselves a 12,000 gold lead, and the Baron picked up. 6-5 still in turrets. Cloud9, they are still showing they have game. They have tricks up their sleeve if they can make them count. And remember, it was a 10,000 gold lead last time against Najim Whiteshot. They did lose that game, but they certainly led them on a merry dance for a very long time in that tiebreaker game using these tricks. So Cloud9 really on top of their game. The problem is that gold deficit may well be too much now.
Yeah, and I think High's going to think twice about trying that again. It took him about 5 minutes, only to be spotted anyway as he stepped out of the brush. So that might not be an option for them in the future. Although I say that, and High's like, you know what, guys, I'm going to try this one. However, Deft has spotted him. The slow does land, and there is Spirit. There is a death bar going down from High onto Spirit. Misses out on the shurikens, but he's going to run for the base anyway.
Why did he flash? He didn't. I tell a lie. He used the shadow. Shadow dash. Dev's going to catch him on. What are Cloud9 doing? Are they going to try and pull something off this while he pulls their attention? Pull 3 people to the top. They can't get anything, but they do get a little bit of wall control in their own jungle.
They know that their time is run out, and they know this is why they commend Blue so often for their late game planning. Think about it coming into this game. Not only the team that they set up, but also the item paths that they took for everybody. So many answers. It's just really hard for Cloud9 to do anything now.
I just like, they're onto my tricks.
Yeah, they've got me figured out.
So push down middle here from Samsung Blue. Baron buff still ticking away. Get rid of some of those wards that Cloud9 got out on that last little merry wander from High on the top side of the map. Looks like they're going to be going for the bottom side. Minion wave is already there. And Dade, with that Lich Bane, is absolutely wrecking those towers. They try and hold them back. The equalizer will be enough to force Cloud9 off. Ball's going to get locked up by the gold card. He will walk away, but the inhibitor won't be so lucky because it's got no legs.
Clean execution from Samsung Blue. They're going to do the same again, I think. They've got the minion wave coming in a moment. They can take themselves
Deft has legs.
Second inhibitor. Deft is trying to sneak around again. 7-8. What a reaction from Deft, of course. And 9-10 for Dade. Of course, a lot of these kills have been picked up solo as well. But with the Baron buff still on them, they keep on pushing. Dart finding lands, but not a lot of follow-up. And Spirit happy to just get the regen from that Baron. Deft really wants to make something. He wants someone to go down the bottom, and High may well take the bait. He's not risking going too far up base.
And I like how Deft often upgrades his boots as well, so he can get that lower cooldown on his flash when he's playing Twitch, so that he can reposition, start out in a very dangerous spot, open up and force the enemy team into an engage, and then flash to reposition. Opens up more playmaking ability so that Dade doesn't have to be the only one.
Equalizer's back in his second. That's going to be the play. There's the equalizer going down. Spray and pray on balls. He will get dropped. Meteor's the next focus. He He will go down. Surely in a second. High gonna run away. He's on the tower all on his own. He's got nowhere to go. Double kill for Def. Now High's gonna try and breed them away while the rest of the team, they're just taking down the base. Samsung Blue, Ace in there. No, sneaky last man standing. I tell a lie. He snuck away to the fountain. Not sneaky enough though. You can't stop. 5 members of Samsung Blue. Oh, flash play from Heart, not missing.
It's going to give Cloud9 some hope for the next game. This one, though, looks like it'll be 1-1.
Absolutely. Samsung Blue, dominant control in this game, no doubt about it. The Hawk, Sneaky goes down. There's the ace, and there's the Nexus. We're all square, ladies and gentlemen. One apiece as Samsung Blue strike back in front of their home Korean crowd.
And that just makes this best of 5 all the more exciting. Tied up after 2 games. And after those 2 games, we can definitely say that this game could go either way. Despite the loss here, Cloud9, they had some very bright moments, and still what I like, a lot of teams, when they fall that far behind, will just say, we're done. They roll over and die. Cloud9 here,
they
still trying, still trying right.
They do a barrel roll to the side and try and sneak around you, try and get deep to that inhibitor, but didn't work out this time.
1-10-1, that's not the really Z stats you want to look at for High, despite, of course, the shenanigans he was trying out there. Before a lot of that began, he was already on a bit of a slide before that happened. So pick and bans could very well be interesting going in. Of course, they're going to be back on the red side in the next matchup. How do we see this one now? All square, mindset completely set. Forget it. You're in a best of 3 now. Forget where you're a best of 5.
Don't forget, because they learned things in the first 2 games.
They do.
So you want to remember those. And thinking back to this game, Cloud9, they got fed Zed. I mean, they got it handed to them in picks and bans. And Blue obviously had such a good plan to deal with it. I mean, everybody built some way to answer it. All of their carries built something to answer it. They played the early team fights exceptionally well. And they had that exhaust for the early parts when they didn't have all the answers, lasagnas and things like that. They had High sequestered away from the rest of the team, exhaust them and kill them.
And that's the thing, right? Once you get to a certain stage, the Zed has got such limited options that, you know, 3 or 4 deaths can quickly just turn into, well, 10 in this case, when you're just trying to make plays happen. And, well, if anything, High definitely tried to make things happen this game. Let's move it all the way back and to, you know, different areas of this game. Sneaky versus Def. Obviously, game 1 was all about Sneaky, but Def this time around showing a lot more comfort, I'd say, on the Rat. And we saw him constantly in that mid lane specifically trying to pick people off.
That's it. He was the one that actually baited all the fights. They started it all off. There was the big top lane where they drew all them in, got a couple of kills. And then, of course, that mid lane where we saw High going in. Should have realized, hang on a minute, this is a little bit too easy, and the rest of Samsung Blue claps around. That's where the fights happen. That's where the gold started to swing their way. We're going to head over towards the analyst.